Alright, so I'm gonna... Well, I guess we'd start from the ship anyway, so I'm gonna do that. And here we go. So, here we have Valken, which is, you can kind of see on the main sprite that it's very inspired by I Wanna Be the Guy.
Yeah, so maybe to clarify the difficulty setting he took at the very beginning of the game, there are 5 difficulties from easy to unfair, which essentially normal to unfair are the same, and the only difference is in easy, where you get a double damage upgrade at the beginning of the game already. For normal to unfair, the only thing that really changes is the amount of resets or the amount of continues you get when you die. He's playing on normal mode for Marathon, obviously, because he gets infinite amounts of resets, so he can technically die as many times as he wants to. But hopefully he will not die a single time. Which, if you're going for the world record in this game, if you want to compete with that, you kinda have to play on unfair by default, which it is not required, but the people like to do it.
Yeah.
And it is optimized to a point where one death would just cost a world record at this point.
Yeah, exactly. When you play on in a marathon setting, then you can't really compare to the record because you gotta pick all the saves and everything.
Yeah. Like the game is essentially the same as if he would play on unfair. You just can continue as many times as he wants. And as you will see, he will sometimes go a little bit out of his way just to grab the one or another checkpoint, since if he would die at any point and he would not have picked a checkpoint, he would have needed to respawn like either at the last time he picked a checkpoint, or if he never picked a checkpoint, he would need to restart from the very beginning of the game. So it's quite crucial that he picks up some checkpoints along the way.
Here's the save point just before the first boss.
Yeah, the first boss is the Lotus Guardian. It's actually quite a difficult fight for the first boss being.
Yeah, that can happen sometimes. There's so much jumping that if you miss one input, then you're usually dead. I was really close to being finished though. Alright, there we go.
Alright, nice one. Yeah. As you can see on the bosses, they change in their visuals the further you get into the fight. They will change their visual appearance twice, and after the second time you just need to get like a third of the fight done and then the boss is dead. There's one exception to this for one of the bosses, which is because of hardware limitations. Because the boss already used up all of the colors they could have used, so they couldn't really make any visual differences on the boss.
I'm trying to go for a pretty hard strat there. I might as well not go for it. Seems to not quite work out.
Yeah, this game is really all about just going for some really crazy optimizations. Like the strats may be super difficult but only save like 0.1 or 0.2 seconds compared to the slower version, which is much easier to do.
So now we just collected the high jump, which just basically makes a jump one block higher, or tile. So we can progress up here. You wanna try to... There we go. I got one of the gap jumps there. Saves like a second each or something. And this is kind of supposed to be resembling a tower here, because we're gonna ascend here and then we're gonna get to basically the second stage in the game, which is Skybase. Because this is the area I'm in now is called the Fortress, and it's basically the overworld for this game. I think I'm gonna be safe and take this one.
Yeah, it is to know that he actually pulled off one of the more difficult strats right there, casually commentating over his run there. Where he went before the bullet in one of the rooms. It's quite tight to do that.
Definitely gotta have some Mega Man inspiration with the Joker blocks. The first part of Skybase is pretty much a walk in the park, as I'm trying not to die, but after this checkpoint here, it ramps up a little bit. It's really satisfying to do these climbs, for sure. And here the game kind of goes all out with the Yoka blocks up here, you'll see pretty soon. Another thing, this area is kind of inspired by Crashman from Mega Man 2 in how it goes from sky area to kind of like, I don't know, outer space or something. Or just from day to night, I guess. And I guess I'll grab this one.
Yeah, it shouldn't be really needed, but you never know with
yeah,
this game.
I guess it's for the jump after the boss. So you might notice something funny with the shooter at the ceiling. It's not really centered on the main character, which is where you can do that exploit and just stand on the same place and mash.
Yeah, and this boss is just as easy as it looks. It's nothing more to it than just standing there. And
Yeah.
jumping at the right times if he gives you the high pattern from his turrets.
Yeah. So here we get our first key. It's really just makes us progress more in the map. You just shoot a block to remove it, just like I did up there. And there's 4 keys in total, where 3 of them are mandatory, and 4th one is just like for the good ending, basically. But since this is any percent, we're just gonna go for bad ending. Now the game introduces some really tough enemies to the game. These guys have 10 HP. So if possible, we will skip them. Yeah, I couldn't really do that. And now we're back to, you might be familiar with this area where we just were. Now we're heading to stage 3, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the overworld first. We're gonna get to the inner part of the fortress. And that part is kind of, it's very Super Metroid inspired, because you get to an area where you need to have defeated all the 6 bosses in order to progress. And that's basically the inner fortress, which we're on our way to here.
So now we're getting to the underwater section of this game, and as you may notice, there suddenly is a timer going on at the top of his screen, and that's basically how long he can stay alive underwater, which the default is just 90 seconds. And later on he will get an upgrade which lets him breathe infinitely underwater.
It's kind of nice that the game doesn't have like some really unique swimming. It's just like changed gravity, just like in Mega Man. So water areas are just as fun as when there's not water, I think. So this is the inner fortress. We're gonna be grabbing a teleporter up here, and you might have noticed what I do. I just enter it for 1 frame and then leave, and yeah, that activates the teleporter. And here is stage 3. There's a part coming up pretty soon where I'm gonna have to listen to some beeping. Nice, that's a pretty tight strat. So here it is. Going for a safe zone skip there. Saves a little bit of time. There we go, that's the last one of those for now. Just because I have the save close, I'm gonna try for a pretty tight strat in this room. Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice one.
I really like these enemies. Colormancer enemies. They're so cool. Skip that guy. I don't know why I was pausing, but yeah, I slipped off the platform there. That was the last room before the save too. Which is, it's too bad when it happens in this game. That's what happens when you choose such punishing speed games. We're gonna get quite a lot more of those blinking spike rooms coming up here. This time there's no really any safe zone skips that I plan to do. It's just... it can take minutes if you die here. Well, okay. Alright, I'm glad to have that done with. I did that very safe. I even waited a little bit in the beginning just to get in the rhythm of the room. And now it's time to mash. This boss is a lot of fun.
Nice kill.
Yeah, mid-air. Thanks. Yeah, pretty much nothing in this game has invincibility frames, which means, yeah, the whole game is just mash, mash, mash. So it's a fantastic game if you're into that. Now we picked up the feather, so you might have seen it already, but I just hold up and then I fall like that. I fall slow like that. And I'm gonna go down here and activate a teleporter down here. We're gonna come back to that one later. And I've been here before. This is the same save as when I was heading into the inner fortress and towards stage 3, I picked up that save. But now we can progress down here in the water area. So this area is pretty difficult, I think. I think I'm gonna mostly focus through this part. That was really good, actually. And then we reset our air countdown as we grab that save up there. This room up here is a little bit of a kind of annoying when you play the game first time. A lot of people just jump right up into the spikes.
Yeah, actually, even though this game took inspiration from I Wanna Be the Guy, it's actually quite different in a sense of this game is not unfair at all. As in the sense of you can pretty much always predict what's going to happen inside the room by simply just waiting at the beginning of it, so except for like 2 exceptions where the developer maybe didn't quite realize what he did there, or in one exception even, I think it was done on purpose, which you will see later. It's pretty straightforward, and you could essentially beat this game deathless the first time because, as I just said, you can always predict what's going to happen inside the room. But aside from that, it is still very difficult to execute it.
So this is stage 4. The song is called The Flooded Spire, but I actually don't remember the name of the stage right now.
I just like to call it Frog Mountain, because there are little frogs everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of these spike crushers, which makes this area kind of difficult. It might look like there's a lot of different paths here, but the area is designed so that you actually backtrack by falling down the tower later. And only a task can make that first cycle there. We gotta wait. We pesky humans. And now we get to the stage 4 boss, which is really unique because the boss basically has no randomness. It just does the same thing over and over, and you just Gotta learn how to dodge the stuff.
Nice.
Almost the magic
Yeah,
pixel
almost
there.
the magic pixel. You can actually land on that little ledge where the boss is on while killing it.
Yeah, it does like nothing, but it feels good to get.
So yeah, just to cover what he picked up actually before he went to the boss, it was the infinite oxygen upgrade, which made him basically, like, it essentially removes the timer that you get when you get underwater, so he can breathe infinitely long.
Yeah, we're on our way to head to get the second key, but the area where you get the second key is like a maze where you need that power up in order to even like be able to progress.
And I guess this is a good point where we can tell that actually the developer of this game, which is called Zivek, made a Let's Play on YouTube where he just went through the game and just talked about every screen, like where he got inspirations from and just what made him design the rooms in the way he did. And the upcoming part is actually the only thing that he criticized himself with, which he thinks he could have done it better, he could have found a better solution for it. And because of that, I think it's also a good time to read some donations here in that part.
I'm sorry to say there are no donations yet.
Alright. Yeah, that video is a really entertaining watch, whether you choose to watch it before you play the game or afterwards. And the maze is just below us here.
Yeah, at the very beginning it looks really promising, like there are some spikes you need to dodge, so there's at least something to do, but it will get very lackluster really quick, as you just see there.
Yeah.
Like,
And this takes 2 minutes to run through too.
yeah. It's just barely long enough that you couldn't make it without the infinite oxygen upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
And if it wasn't for this, we never really needed the infinite oxygen upgrade at all in this game.
Yeah, the infinite oxygen is kind of weird in how it's, even though in stage 5, which is coming up after this, it's an underwater place, but you get air when you take every save point, so yeah, you would be fine even without the infinite oxygen. Always gotta shoot to the music in this area.
I mean, you have to entertain yourself somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
And your air would roughly run out in this screen, right as you shoot this one block. And it's just barely before the end there.
I like to shoot that lock first and then grab the key.
It's actually interesting that even though you don't have the key yet and you shoot, after you pick up the key and your shot is still on screen, it will get the ability of the key you picked up later.
Yeah. This is actually where we first got to the water area, but we're backtracking the other way now. Well, missed the jump. And this is the first place where we need the second key. Okay. Didn't get to trigger the spike crusher there. So here's the stage 5, the subterranean sea. And it really ramps up from here too. It's kind of like easy in the beginning. But now there's a lot of dodging going on, for sure. Okay, well. I was certain I was gonna die there. Oh, okay, there we go.
While you repeat this question, this section, maybe we can read donations now.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Io Kander says, "Let's go Spiriax." And Chris says, "You guys are doing a great job. Thanks for the great stream and great commentary. Love from the UK."
That's awesome, thanks. And now, this part of Subterranean Sea is, you might be thinking of it now, but yeah, it's inspired by Maridia from Super Metroid for sure. With the pipes and the sand and everything. Okay, that was kind of weird. What you want to do there, you want to fall without hitting the platform. And I managed to do that, but I wasn't able to react to the fact that I did that. So then I did some weird movement and died anyway. Okay. So here we get to the seahorse turrets. This stage 5 boss. This boss can be kind of trolly. But that was weird. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that was just bad RNG.
Yeah, just because I wasn't able to get the seahorse turret fast enough. The first test was really something special. It's kind of weird that I keep thinking that I shot enough shots already, so but I don't know. It's really sure that the fight was over. So this backtrack here is probably the biggest backtrack of any of the areas. You have to go through a pretty big part of stage 5 going back. But we got the double jump, as you might have noticed. Because of course every platformer in Metroidvania needs one. I suppose. The first part of this stage has a shortcut though, which you have access to because of double jump. So that's nice. Thanks, Sivak. And that shortcut is right here. And this is the entrance to stage 5. As it turns out, the next stage is actually really close. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this save, because why not?
Yeah, don't make the mistake, just as I did when I played this casually, and just ignore the fact that the exit is to the left here.
Oh yeah, up there.
Yeah. If you happen to miss that one, it can be quite, like, difficult to find it again. Because you're going all over the place trying to find where you need to go, and it's essentially just there.
Yeah, I've seen that quite a lot in casual plays lately, too. I really like this area. It's really unique.
Yeah, definitely.
Whoa. This area goes around in a loop, and it's gonna give us the third key. And then as we get that, we can... oh, there we go. Then we can backtrack a little bit and continue in this part, in the earlier part of the stage. And there we are. Oh, I don't know why I thought I would have time to do that. Such a long time ago where I tried to shoot those, I don't know what they're called, but those things after leaving the save room there. And that's a random lime there, or lemon.
Also right here, this is pretty sure the room where the developer wanted to troll you for once. Because if you take too long, the door will just, like the Yoku blocks, will just close before you and you will fall into the spikes.
Yeah, you might have seen them appearing just as I left the screen. Wow. That's a pretty good fight.
Nice one.
So we get a little hint as to what to do next here. But this is when I go back to the inner fortress where stage 3 was. So we can get to the final area.
While you backtrack, I have more donations.
Sure, now it's a good time, I guess.
Yep.
Dynamuti back at it again with $30. No donations again? Outrageous. Thanks for the entertainment to all the past, current and coming runners, and thanks to the staff for everything. Heart emoji. And one more donation, $50 by Hushabut. No comment at all. Just giving $50 to Save the Children, by the way. Yeah. All of your money goes to Save the Children.
Awesome. So this is kind of the no going back zone here.
And now the game just really throws everything at you at once. The difficulty it gets really increased by a lot in this area.
And after we grab this save point right here, we're gonna get to some more blinking spike sections. I'm gonna see if I can't pull off some skips maybe. I'll give it one attempt. And as evil as Sivak is, there's still some more stuff going here before you get to the next save point. I went for 4 safe zone skips there, and I'm kind of glad I got all of them in the spike area. So scary if you just try to shoot these and jump through, because sometimes you don't get enough shots out and then you're always dead no matter what. So that's why I jumped up back to safety after those. So yeah, if you caught that text that was flashing really quick, we just lost all our items, and this is where we gotta recollect them.
Well, we're not going to recollect all of them though, because there's a thing you can do, which is you can skip the infinite oxygen, which is the first upgrade you're supposed to get back, by simply just being very fast at this section for the second upgrade that you're supposed to get back. Which, if you're a speedrunner, this is actually pretty lenient. You can even do some mistakes and still get it.
Yeah, the biggest part that allows for us to skip it is those jumping over those blocks up there, because you're really supposed to wait and inch your way one at a time with those yoke blocks. And I'm gonna do the same on the way back. Like that. And we should have around 11 to 12 seconds left as we leave this area. Actually, much better time. I was 14, that was pretty good. And here we get the double jump, and the interesting part about that is, wow, is you collect it in a different order than when you get them in the game before this point. And this is the last recollection before we head to the 2 final bosses in the game.
Maybe then I can read a short donation again.
Go for it.
Jeffem donates $5. Hey, and good luck on that battle kit. And hey Van, this event has been a blast so far, keep it up.
Yo Jeffem, thanks
Yo.
for the donation.
Thanks, Jeffem. That's awesome.
Oh wow, that was close.
Yeah, it was closer than I would have wanted it to. Just lead a little tiny tap there.
Yeah.
And now we get to Zed. It's pretty cool. Kind of resets the screen. And when this boss is dead, there's a... I want to give a little epilepsy warning, because there's a lot of flashing going on. That's pretty good. Pretty good randomness on the boss there.
So will you go for crazy strats on the final boss?
Yeah, I will. So the final boss, there is 1 block above you in the room, and the boss has this one attack where it shoots lasers from the ceiling, and it's really designed so you just hide under the block to dodge it. But you can dash out way more damage if you're on top of the block. It's super hard though. Okay.
It's actually super hard. It's I think the hardest threat in this game to jump over those yellow spike lightning bolts.
Yeah, that's definitely the hardest one.
Oh, really?
That was
that was a double KO.
Oh yeah, I've never seen that before. All right.
Nice.
There we go. And we're alive. I'm pleased with that time. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good time for a marathon.
Yeah.
Just to cover that really quick, his PP for this game is a high 37-minute run. And it's done on unfair, and obviously because it's done on unfair it's also deathless. And he's one of, I think, only 3 people that managed to beat this game on unfair ever.
No, Sidetrack did that, I think.
Oh, Sidetrack did it recently, yeah, right.
Yeah. There we go. Sub 43. I was like, where's the button? Oh. Yeah, so yeah, it's a super cool game. Did we mention this game was made in 2010? So which is really cool, and then there's a sequel as well if you want even more. It was released in 2012. And we'll see, maybe we get a Battlefield 3 someday? Who knows?
Hopefully.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Both games has some extra content too. You can do boss rushes, and there's also some special stages. And for the actual game, there's like a bonus area where you can collect double damage, but it's not worth to go for in any percent situation. It's just like 100%. But yeah, 100% doesn't really change that much because it's just going to the area and collecting double damage, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, depending on the difficulty you finish the game on, you will get more or less passwords, which he finished it on normal, so he will just get the sound test. But there's also other stuff like the boss rush or a bonus level, as he pointed out already, which if you beat it on unfair, you will get all of the passwords.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for the help with the commentary, and I will be back in a couple days with Turtles in Time. So yeah, thanks, and get hyped for Metal Gear Rising.